Just when you thought the San Francisco 49ers had delivered their most gut-wrenching blow of the offseason by trading away Deebo Samuel, they're reportedly poised to drop another nuclear bomb on their faithful fanbase. This time, the target is none other than star wide receiver Brandon Aiyuk. Months after signing him to what many believed was a career-defining contract extension, whispers are growing louder, turning into a roar. The Niners are plotting his exit strategy. The cold, calculated reasoning behind this potential move will leave you questioning everything you thought you knew about loyalty in the cutthroat world of the NFL. This isn't just a routine roster shuffle or a salary cap adjustment. This feels like organizational betrayal, meticulously disguised as smart business. Brandon Aiyuk, a fan favorite and a cornerstone of this offense, is about to become the latest casualty in San Francisco's relentless, almost ruthless pursuit of championship glory. The writing isn't just on the wall, it's etched in stone. Training Camp 2025 might very well be the last time we see Aiyuk donning the iconic red and gold. So, the burning question is, how much more can this fanbase endure before the pursuit of a Lombardi trophy completely erodes the very soul of their team? /N /N the Deebo domino effect. A seismic shift /N /N, and let's rewind to the seismic shift that fundamentally altered the 49ers' offensive identity. When San Francisco traded Deebo Samuel to the Washington Commanders this offseason, they didn't just lose a dynamic player. They ripped out a significant piece of their passing attack's heart. Samuel's departure created a gaping void that, by all logic, should have elevated Aiyuk to undisputed WR1 status, cementing his role as the primary target. But instead, it seems to have exposed just how expendable the organization truly considers him. The Samuel trade was framed as a move to maximize value, while they still could, a strategic divestment. Yet, it inadvertently peeled back the curtain on the franchise's true priorities. They're not interested in building around veteran receivers burdened by expensive contracts. Their gaze is fixed on young, cost-effective talent that perfectly fits Kyle Shanahan's intricate system. Suddenly, Aiyuk's hefty deal, once a symbol of commitment, now looks like a luxury they can no longer afford. This philosophical pivot wasn't an overnight decision. The 49ers have been quietly laying the groundwork for this moment, meticulously stockpiling young receiving talent while Aiyuk recovered from a significant knee injury. Now, with Samuel gone and their offensive identity in flux, Aiyuk finds himself the odd man out in his own receiving room, a pawn in a larger, colder game. /N /N the rising stars, making Aiyuk expendable /N /N. Here's where the narrative takes an even more fascinating and frankly infuriating turn for Aiyuk staunch supporters. The 49ers' 2024 first-round pick, Ricky Pearsall, has been nothing short of spectacular in his development alongside quarterback Brock Purdy. Despite overcoming a traumatic off-field incident that could have derailed his entire career, Pearsall finished his rookie season with tremendous momentum and has only continued to ascend. The chemistry between Purdy and Pearsall is not just undeniable, it's palpable. They've invested countless hours meticulously perfecting their timing and connection, and the results are evident in every practice session, every highlight reel. Meanwhile, veteran Jauan Jennings continues to be Purdy's most trusted target in crucial high-pressure situations, providing the gritty reliability that championship-caliber teams demand. What makes this situation even more brutal for Aiyuk is that Kyle Shanahan's system has always placed a premium on versatility and yards after catchability, traits that both Pearsall and Jennings possess in abundance. If these younger, cheaper options can provide similar or even enhanced production, why on earth would the 49ers continue to pay Aiyuk's massive salary? The team has also quietly, yet strategically, invested in additional receiving talent through both the draft and shrewd free agency moves, creating a depth chart that renders any single player, no matter how talented, ultimately expendable. This isn't mere coincidence. It's calculated roster construction, meticulously designed to eliminate leverage and create an abundance of options. /N /N the financial nightmare, driving this decision /N /N. And now, let's confront the elephant in the room: money. Brandon Aiyuk's contract extension, loaded with guaranteed cash, was supposed to be the reward for his breakout performances, the golden ticket securing his long-term future in San Francisco. Instead, it's rapidly transformed into an albatross around the organization's neck, particularly after they committed a record-setting quarterback deal to Brock Purdy. The salary cap mathematics are brutal, unforgiving, and relentless, with Purdy's gargantuan extension devouring significant cap space, and other key players like Fred Warner and Nick Bosa needing new deals or restructures. Aiyuk's salary now stands out like a sore thumb, a glaring anomaly. The 49ers are staring down the harsh reality that they simply cannot afford to pay premium prices at every single position, and wide receiver has, regrettably, become their sacrificial lamb. What makes this even more insulting, more galling, is the timing. The 49ers signed Aiyuk to this extension knowing full well, deep down, that they might not be able to keep him long-term. They essentially used him as a high-priced placeholder, a temporary solution, while diligently developing cheaper, younger alternatives. Now that those alternatives are ready to step into the spotlight, Aiyuk has become, in the coldest business terms, expendable. The financial calculus is simple, yet utterly heartless. Trading Aiyuk would instantly free up significant cap space, a war chest that could be strategically deployed to address more pressing needs along both the offensive and defensive lines. From a purely business perspective, it makes perfect, unassailable sense. From a human perspective, it's absolutely ruthless. /N/N/N the injury factor that sealed his fate /N/N/N Brandon Aiyuk's significant knee injury couldn't have come at a more devastating time for his 49ers career. While he worked tirelessly with unwavering dedication to return to form, the injury cast a shadow of doubt over his long-term durability and, crucially, gave the organization the perfect cover to explore other options. During his recovery period, Pearsall and Jennings stepped up, proving unequivocally that the offense could not only function but thrive without him. This injury also provided the ideal excuse for the 49ers to rigorously test their depth and evaluate their burgeoning young talent. What they discovered was a painful truth for Aiyuk. Their offense might actually be more versatile, more explosive, and certainly more cap-friendly without his hefty contract weighing him down. The injury didn't just threaten his 2024 season. It threatened his entire future in San Francisco. The cruelest irony of all is that Aiyuk's dedication to returning from injury, his professional approach to rehabilitation, should have strengthened his position with the team. Instead, it merely bought them the time they needed to realize they might not need him as much as they once thought. /N/N/N the trade market salivates. /N/N across the NFL, multiple teams are desperately seeking proven receiving talent. And Aiyuk's potent combination of age, production, and manageable contract status makes him an incredibly attractive target. The Buffalo Bills, Los Angeles Chargers, Houston Texans, and Denver Broncos have all been prominently linked to high-profile receiver trades, and Aiyuk fits their needs perfectly like a missing puzzle piece. What makes this situation even more appealing for potential suitors is that Aiyuk's contract, while substantial, is entirely manageable for teams with even a modicum of cap flexibility. He's not just a rental player, he's a legitimate long-term solution for franchises looking to immediately boost their passing attack. The 49ers are acutely aware of this, which is precisely why they're in no rush to make a decision. They can afford to play the long game, to wait for the perfect, most lucrative offer, knowing full well that desperate teams will eventually meet their asking price. This calculated patience only intensifies the psychological torture that Aiyuk must be experiencing, caught in a limbo of uncertainty. /N/N John Lynch's cold-blooded playbook /N/N and general manager John Lynch has meticulously built a reputation for making incredibly difficult decisions that consistently prioritize team success above all else, even over individual relationships. His track record is littered with several late offseason moves that have caught both players and fans completely off guard, and Aiyuk could very well be next on his list. Lynch's timing is particularly noteworthy. He often waits until training camp, sometimes even later, to make his biggest, most impactful moves, allowing him to fully evaluate talent and maximize potential trade value. If the 49ers' young receivers continue to impress during OTAs and early camp sessions, Lynch could pull the trigger on an Aiyuk trade without a moment's hesitation. This calculated, almost surgical approach has served the 49ers remarkably well in the past, but it has also undeniably fostered an atmosphere where no player, no matter how beloved, feels truly safe. Aiyuk's situation is just the latest, stark example of how quickly fortunes can change in the unforgiving landscape of the NFL. /N/N/N the mockery that reveals the truth /N/N/, and perhaps the most telling aspect of this entire unfolding drama is how Aiyuk himself has handled the relentless trade rumors. His social media posts, seemingly mocking the speculation, might appear to be a display of confidence, a dismissal of baseless gossip. But in reality, they reveal how seriously he's taking the very real possibility of being traded. Players don't mock rumors they're genuinely unconcerned about. The fact that Aiyuk feels compelled to publicly address these rumors suggests he's hearing things behind the scenes that deeply worry him, that shake his sense of security. His attempts at humor might simply be a coping mechanism for a situation that's spiraling completely out of his control. League insiders continue to mention his name in trade discussions, and as the old adage goes, where there's smoke, there's usually fire. The 49ers might not be actively shopping him yet, but make no mistake, they are certainly listening to offers, meticulously evaluating their options, and preparing for every contingency. /N/N/, and the brutal reality of championship pursuit /N/N/, in this entire situation vividly illustrates the ruthless, almost predatory nature of championship pursuit in today's NFL. The San Francisco 49ers are unequivocally willing to sacrifice individual relationships, fan loyalty, and even the sentimental value of a beloved player in their relentless, single-minded quest for another Super Bowl title. Aiyuk's potential departure represents everything that's often wrong with modern professional sports, the complete and utter prioritization of cold, hard business over genuine human connection. But here's the uncomfortable truth: it just might work. If the 49ers can extract quality draft picks for Aiyuk while their young, burgeoning receivers continue to develop at this rapid pace, they could very well end up with a better overall roster, a more versatile offense, and all at a fraction of the cost. Sometimes, the most heartless decisions are, paradoxically, also the smartest ones in the cutthroat world of professional sports. The question, then, is whether the loyal fan base will forgive the organization for this latest perceived betrayal. After watching them trade away Jimmy Garoppolo, release other veteran leaders, and now potentially move on from Aiyuk, how much loyalty can they realistically expect in return? This, Fabiano, is the new brutal reality of NFL team building. Everyone is expendable, contracts don't guarantee security, and yesterday's hero can become today's trade candidate without warning. Brandon Aiyuk is about to learn this lesson the hard way, and the rest of us get to watch it unfold in real time. /N/N/, and what's your take on this potential trade? Is it a stroke of genius business or a callous act of organizational betrayal? Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. And if you think the 49ers are making a massive mistake by even considering trading their most talented receiver, hit that like button and share this report to keep the conversation going. Your voice matters in this unfolding drama.